All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the Villa Rica Planning Commission, the meeting for June 27th, 2017. This is a call to order. First up is the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt this agenda?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve and adopt this agenda. All those in favor, raise their right hand.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 3-0 for the adoption of the agenda. First up is old business. Did everyone get, I got an email today of the prior 3 minutes, 3 months worth of minutes.
I move approval of the minutes as presented.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for 3/28/17, 4/25/16, or 17, that should be 17, and 5/30/17. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? No? Okay. First up is conditional use.
The light was on when
Uh-oh.
we first set it up.
Oops.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
This is conditional use CU0217. The applicant, Sonia Tompier of Stewart's Village, Inc., appeared before Planning Commission last month. This item was tabled. The request, is a conditional use to allow goats, herding dog, and fencing located at 123 East Wilson Street, parcel number V060020009, in land lot 160 of the 6th District. Currently, this property is zoned downtown commercial mixed use, and this is on 2.94 acres. The applicant is here. Again, this was tabled from last month. The request by Planning Commission was to bring in additional materials related to the fencing that would be required or would be installed on the property.
Okay. All right, at this time, would the applicant please step forward? And I guess since we brought you back, if you could represent or present any new materials that you have in regards to your request.
Well, good evening, but the materials should be in your file.
Okay. Here we go. Fence. So with the pictures in here, I guess I'll start the questions. Will this be the materials, the same type of fence as far as? Same type as this in the pictures, okay. There's also pictures of like privacy fences. Is that going to be incorporated as?
Yes, down the sides there will be privacy fences.
Okay, so sides are going to be privacy fence, and then this will be like the entranceway.
Yes.
And stuff. Okay. So let's see. That's the sketch here.
I didn't understand the sketch. What is that?
There's some pins. Is this like a set of pins for in the middle of it?
There is a gate inside the gate, so there's added features.
So is that like,
I'm sorry?
so it's like a pin inside of the property?
Yes.
Where you can pin the goats up if need be, I guess.
No, I didn't understand.
Is this for the goats so you can pin them up and?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And that will be constructed out of this type of fence?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
entry.
Looks like we have a basketball court on here also, is that correct?
Yes.
You've done some clearing on the parcel also. Would you explain that to us?
The reason I cleared the parcel so you could see when I was here last, everyone said that they could not see and they didn't know how to walk the brush. So therefore, at this particular time, you could see the entire.
Okay, so what percentage of the brush have you eliminated off of your property?
Pretty much 15. And a lot of.
So the gates, let me just understand this. The gates are for to pen the goats up inside the privacy area, privacy fence area, so the wood privacy fence is going around the whole perimeter.
Around the sides,
On the
yes.
sides. Is that the iron gates?
Yes.
Okay, and then the goat pens are the iron gate ones that are pictured here as well, just trying to understand
The
this.
goat pen is inside the perimeter.
Okay. And the goat pen is which type of fencing? The iron gate
They will have a chain link.
chain link?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, the future use of this is, would be a building on there. I guess what I'm confused at is the basketball court going down. If
The
it's,
basketball court is for my exercise purposes.
okay.
But the long-range plan is to build a senior center of some kind.
Yes.
Okay. But this application is just for the permission of goats and then the goat dog. Okay. I'm good with my questions. Does anybody else have any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, why do you want to clear the cuts?
Why do I want to clear the cuts?
Well-
Because it's a distraction. I want people to see what they're getting. If I
Will clear all of this land,
will I clear it all?
clear all of this land as you move forward with your plans for construction.
All the trees that are good trees will. Those things.
And I have we have two letters in our packet from the Wilson Mill Townhomes. Have you tried to speak to them because they're against this project?
I have not, and when I was here before, I didn't get any negative feedback, so I was not aware. And I would speak with them because I saw something today when I went to pick up a package because I left mine home. First of all, I don't do anything shabby. I've been in Villa Rica 20-some years, and everything I do is very, very prominent. So I don't know, it would enhance the community.
So, Vicki, these letters are in the packet originally. Did the applicant not have a chance to see these letters from the previous? Because this was in the original packet we had last month.
That's correct.
At this point in time, I don't know if, I can't answer whether, when the packet was assembled, if she saw the information or not.
So would the city normally, if we had negative comments, would the applicant normally get to see those, or?
A lot of times, they will come in, and we'll take the information into consideration. What we always encourage people to do is reach out to their neighbors, because typically the letters, what they're required to do is send out notices to the surrounding property owners of what the action that they plan on taking. So and that will usually have all of their contact information. So they may not necessarily have reached out to the applicant.
Okay.
And I can't see your name.
Mount.
But yes, Mr. Mount, I did go to certain neighbors. I don't know anybody in that neighborhood. And I did not know how close they were to me until I started walking the property and I saw all the litter that was there. But I did reach out to Jay, which he came and spoke on my behalf the last time. I spoke to the young lady next door,
Yeah.
Shelby. I spoke to the young man across the street. So I did reach out.
Okay.
Okay. You good?
Yeah, I have no more questions for the applicant.
Okay. Larry,
I do.
okay.
How long do you feel that the condition will persist, or the condition will exist for you to be required to have goats on the premises?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I asked for 2 years, and the reason why I asked for 2 years is because living to personal care to a hospice. So there are phases, and that's just like if you're going from middle school to kindergarten, you have to graduate from one phase to the next.
Well, generally, the conditional use permit is valid so long as the condition exists. So you feel that it's going to take you 2 years to clean the rest of the vegetation off the remaining 15, if I understand you correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, the remaining 15% of the property.
Do I think it will take 2 years?
2 years.
No, what believe that, and if it,
So you do not have your building plans ready?
I do have building plans. I'm not.
How long the condition is going to exist and whether 2 years is a favorable parameter to look at. That's where we're coming from. Okay.
I have one other question too. Have you priced out the fencing and the cost is going to, the fences as you've shown us here?
Have I priced it out?
The cost, yes.
It's quite pricey.
Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. And so my concern is you've already got the property cleared at this point, so you do have some trash to pick up. You know, I was over there, looked at it, which you'll have to pick up either way, correct, whether you have goats or not, because the goats are not going to eat the trash. So to me, and the other thing I did not see on the property when I was looking at it this week, now you have it cleared, is kudzu. And there is a lot of growth there, but normally we allow goats for kudzu. And the reason we allow goats on kudzu is because it's very hard to kill. And goats is the easiest way to kill kudzu. What my opinion on what you have over there, you would spend less money by just going ahead and picking up the trash and just hire someone to mow it instead of building this $15,000 set of fences around it. Because that's, what I priced wood fence, it's about $10 a foot, I mean, you have a nice design. I like what you're planning to do. I think it'd be very nice for the neighbors. And then my other concern is that it's in the downtown overlay. This is part of downtown, so I'm really leaning against it, but we still have
Right.
more stuff to do.
Any other questions for you?
Again, I have the same concerns I had the last time. Why didn't this go in, clear it out, ignore it? Because I did not see a lot of cuts through there either when I went by. But again, your plans are to build buildings on there. Why not just go in, clear out the land, and do your building? Why the goats? Why the kudzu problems? I don't see them.
I guess that's a matter of opinion.
Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it. Okay, anyone else in favor of this proposal? They'd like to come up to the mic? All right, no takers. Is there anyone against this proposal that would like to get up and speak? No takers? Okay, at this point, the public section is closed. Any questions for staff, or do I have a motion?
I move we disapprove the request as presented.
We have a motion to not approve or disapprove this conditional use. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to disapprove this conditional use. All those in favor of disapproving, raise your right hand. All those in favor of this conditional use, raise your hand. There being none, motion to disapprove carries 4-0. Okay. Next up is new business.
May I ask a question?
This section's already closed. Next Tuesday is the council meeting, city council meeting. So you just represent.
Let me just clarify.
Yeah.
The council work session meeting is July 6th, with the regular meeting on July 11th.
July 11th, that's what you would do is you would meet with come to the city council meeting, represent everything to them, and then just basically doing it all over again with the city council. Okay. Okay.
This next item is variance application VA 0317. The applicant, Pandoja LLC, represented by Rose Leopold with Ridgeline, address 3353 Peachtree Street, Atlanta, Georgia. This parcel number is 0147-045-0016, which is 5820 Trade Center Court in Villa Rica. The applicant is requesting a variance to the UDC's Article 6, which is to reduce the buffer from 70 feet to 40-foot planted landscape buffer. The applicant is requesting this variance for the purpose of constructing a 400,000 square foot warehousing and distribution center that will provide the opportunity for future expansion to 600,000 square feet. The applicant is here. Just to give you just some general information, this property does abut the Douglas County line. It is essentially on the Villa Rica side, largely surrounded by The property is zone plan development. Everything around it on the Villa Rica side is plan development. In terms of the land uses, however, it is surrounded by industrially designated land use classifications along the Villa Rica side. What is to the east side is, in Douglas County, is agricultural residential. So
But they're not in the city limits.
they are not in the city limits.
They're not in the city limits.
Correct.
Okay.
Staff is recommending approval of the applicant's request.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, at this time, with the representative from Ridgeline Property Group or Pandoja, step forward. If you give us your name and address.
Sure. My name is Rose Leopold. Home address is 211 Vinings Forest Circle, Smyrna, Georgia. Ridgeline is representing Pandoja, which is a sister company for the Toronto Baking Company. They own this 36 acres. It was originally part of an 88.5 acre tract that was subdivided off of Mr. Boggs's land back in 2004, 2005. I've been working on this land since 2004, 2005, did the rezoning, did the DRI, and this is the last remaining tract. The DRI did allow up to 750,000 square feet. We do have a very interested client in this location that needs actually up to 650. If you look at the site plan and total the two square footages, it's about 653. It's a deal breaker for them if they can't get to the 650 mark. They've looked at other locations, but they prefer this one. Back when we did the rezoning and DRI, there wasn't a buffer that was required back then on that east property line where it abuts Douglas County, and we had offered up a 40-foot wide planted area that we would replant. This land's been timbered for decades, and that's what we'd like to adhere to at this point. We can't move the site plan any further west than what's shown due to detention requirements, the municipal sewer that was put in, and also just the grades coming off of Trade Center Court. I personally will be doing the landscape plan and can assure you we will meet or exceed code.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Is it premature? I know this is just a variance, but it's kind of the whole thing. Is there a job number that has been calculated yet? Because everybody likes to know, like approximately how many jobs potential.
They've asked for 200 parking spaces,
Wow.
so it could be anywhere from 100,
Okay.
25, 200. It's a company that everyone will recognize,
Okay.
so we know it's going to be a job creator, and it's a great location, now that they have municipal sewer in there as well, that, the Toronto's helped bring that in as well, so we'd love to put this client in there.
Sure. Okay.
And that decision will probably be, no one will commit until they know they can get this square footage, so
Yeah.
We could know as early as July 12th if we get a good answer from you folks in the commission.
Very impressed with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's probably as detailed
I appreciate that.
I've driven over there, and of course you can't see anything. I did not get out and walk up that muddy trail to see.
Yeah, there's some topo change back there, and you gotta be careful. I've tripped over a few rocks back there too, so
Very impressive.
thank you very much.
No reason for not approving.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
It looks like 530 foot is the closest residential property or
Yes,
home
yes.
structure,
The
I
other
guess.
structures that are out there are more accessory uses like barns and storages, and they sit a lot lower there on Tyson. So anything we plant within that buffer area we're going to plant large material in there. It's going to help screen, plus there's trees on their property already off-site.
Okay.
Have the butters been contacted?
They were listed in the application as,
Oh, they were contacted, I mean, as far as the mailing was made by the,
we had listed all the surrounding people.
but they were contacted.
As far as, I don't send that part.
No, but your understanding of it was, okay. We're just trying to cover, we're trying to cover bases. That's all we're trying to do.
And part of if you look on that east property line, the northern about 30% is zoned heavy commercial. So it's just basically that bottom part that we'd like to
Yeah.
reduce.
I have no other questions.
You good? Everybody good? Okay, thank you much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, would anyone else like to come up and speak in favor of this? No takers? Would anyone like to get up and speak in opposition to this proposal? Okay, no takers. At this point, the public section is closed. Any questions for staff, or do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
We have a motion.
The buffer.
We have a motion to accept the variance. Have a second. All those in favor of approval of the variance, raise your right hand. All those opposed? Motion carries 4-0 for approval. And again, the meeting, July 11th? Okay. And I would definitely throw in job numbers when you're putting that, because I was looking at that going, oh, nice. That'll help. So, yeah, and just represent it just like you did here to the council. Okay. All right, next up, staff comments from Vicki Coleman.
I don't really have any new comments at this point. I think most of you are aware that the community development position, manager position, has been filled, and Janet will be coming back, so.
Okay.
Do we have a date for that?
What I knew was July 10th, but I'm hearing it may be a little bit sooner.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, the other thing, our person that you have come to know over the last year, Rhonda, is going back to being a city clerk again, so she will be leaving.
Oh, okay.
So,
City clerk,
Gwinnett, somewhere, and she lives out in that way. It's Stone Mountain. She lives out that way, so I didn't think she would return to being a city clerk again, but she's going back.
All right. Well, I wish her well.
Yes.
has she already resigned?
I believe it was on Friday.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we'll miss her. We'll miss her. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Public comments. Anyone like to get up and speak? You're limited to 10 minutes. And there's a microphone.
Yes, I would like to speak because I do not understand the negative appeal that I received here. I am not a hoodwink or anything of that nature. I wanted to do something to better the community. I probably was here in this community before any of you all were here. So I would like to know why someone else was given a go-ahead and I was not.
The best way I could answer that is it's two completely different applications, two different circumstances, and so we look at each case, whether in the case of the variance, it's different than what you were doing, which is a conditional use. So we take each one based on its merits and things like that, and we're a recommending planning board.
Okay. So am I hearing you say that she had a variance and I had a conditional permit?
Yes. Yeah, hers was filed under a variance, and yours was under conditional use, but then there's rezonings, there's all different ones that come before us. So it's not like a cookie cutter approach. We get the information from the applicants when we ask questions, and then after we compile all that, we just make a determination, each one of us has a separate vote, and then we vote, and then it goes on to the city council. They look at how we voted, or they don't look at it, because they make their own determination, and theirs is the final say.
Okay. All righty. All right, appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. All right.
I would like to make a comment.
Okay.
So I was looking at, last week at the,
I'm sorry.
at the last council meeting, Christopher Pike presented the downtown plan, and one of the things he presented was the hotel that they had recommended was a true brand, which was Hilton, which Hilton's a nice brand, but it's also very modern design. And I feel as a zoning board member that our downtown we're not a super modern place, and I don't feel like it really fits in. And I think there's already some plans in that, in our master plan about downtown kind of looking familiar and the same. So to me, that really modern hotel looks out of place. And the other thing that's come up was the drive that comes from Shoreline over here, and I think that really needs to, as a board member, I want to make sure we work to fit that into downtown, make it look like an extension of downtown, at least the first part with the same building designs and all that. So I would just wanted to make that.
Were you at
this meeting tonight?
Oh, no, the meeting you're talking about. For the road yet?
No.
Okay, so question.
For the design.
Right,
Yeah,
but
the exterior property.
right, okay.
Well,
That it kind of matches up, with which are designs.
I would certainly add that, as the city's preparing to go into its comprehensive plan, that those are the types of things that you want to look at, the type of road that it is, and then how the land uses support, this local road. So those are absolutely things that you look at and you take into consideration. And I've been on this journey with you guys just a little bit, so I have not, I would always have to go back and look in the code. I did hear some of the things that you had to say. I know typically something like this, the hotel would go through some type of design review period, and that's just part of the negotiation process, if you will, in terms of being consistent with the character of the surrounding area. If it's more appropriate for it to be certainly more modern inside, but then how do you can work closely, the community can work with the applicant as they're coming through. I don't know that there's a design review board set up.
there is, it's called the Historic Preservation Commission.
Historic preservation, and it would work through that process just to.
Yeah. And I hope that the historic preservation does their job. I kind of felt like they dropped the ball on the Hart House, but so.
Maybe there's a design specification like faux pas textile mill.
Faux pas textile.
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that. Old brick.
I guess, fortunately or unfortunately, we approved the RSVP plan, but in general, in total,
Yeah.
and not without the specifics. And there was talk about a hotel, but, we never talked about,
How it's supposed to look.
what it should be or whatever.
Well,
So
and
that came as a big surprise to
Yeah.
see that true.
as we've discussed on the Historic Preservation Commission, that really what goes on behind the exterior is, from our point of view, is not of a concern to us.
Right.
So if you want to have the latest space-age materials back there, knock yourself out. You want to have old school construction, fine too. The exterior, we'd like to have it fit in with more of the current landscape to be more of a period piece, and we'd have to try to pick the period when we look to say for conversation pieces, say around 1900 in a mill town.
When the mill does fit in, I mean, our little
Yeah.
amphitheater.
And you can have new materials. You don't have to have old materials from 1900, but just have the style, the architectural style be there. Maybe we want to have something like a veranda, like the old hotel down in Hogansville. That's there.
So you're on the historical?
Yes.
Oh, good. You can keep them straight.
Yeah,
That's right.
Try to. Well, we've said that there are a lot of things really kind of got to walk back through historic preservation in downtown, and kind of everybody's kind of going like, who?
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah.
All right.
But we want to have an open mind, and we do. We just want to kind of get everybody on board, because right now we're dealing with. Back in April, when the city council meeting was held, there was a fire down here on Main Street, and as we all came into the meeting, we saw the fire truck down here, and it's like, oh, wonder what's going on. Well, there's a fire up in the attic. So we've been talking now with the homeowner for a house that was built around 1900. It's not so much the inside of the house that's, so much of a concern to us as to being restored period-wise. It's the exterior. And so now we're looking for building materials, and that's where they've kind of hit a real problem. So can we go vinyl? We go, no. Can we do cement board? No.
Yeah.
So we're unless it's absolute last resort, you can't find a stick of wood. Nobody will build cut anything for you. And that's not the case.
Yeah.
And the case is, we feel that there is building materials available to them, reasonably priced, from respectable sources, and we should be able to move on. And they're very willing to work with us on that.
Well, I'm concerned, like John says, though, that there's almost like there's a commitment, or certainly a leaning to truth.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
they all have a very.
Until we see that signed contract.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
And the money.
There's an awful lot to go through before.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. Anybody else for public comments? Okay. At this point, the public comment section is closed. Next up is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So you,
Moved. Second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for coming to our Villarica Development Authority meeting, or Planning and Zoning meeting. That's the other one I got next week. All right.
How come you don't know all about this building?
I was just going to mention something, totally off the record. On a good note, okay. I'm the chairman of the Villarica Development Authority that handles pretty much how it works, I'll call it politically.
he'd like to finance your building.